everybody. Quiet, listen to me. We're going to start a show.
Okay, yay! It's time for another Ink and Paint Club podcast. Kyle, are you pumped?
Not really. When am I ever?
I know, your lack of enthusiasm astounds me sometimes. Sorry, I'm drinking water. I'm thirsty as shit. Anyway, my name's JD.
And I'm Kyle.
Yeah, and the Ink and Paint Club podcast here is your weekly art and animation talkery bullshittery podcast that Kyle and I do. So where we talk about what's going on in the world of animation, as well as some, topic pertaining to animation, cartoons, and art of some manner.
Something around there.
Sorry, I am thirsty as shit today. Well, sorry if it sounds like I'm talking in a pool.
Maybe we should re-record this.
No, I am not. I don't have time for that.
You're like Captain Lou Albano, you have to do this in one take.
Exactly. This is the Mario Super Show up here. We're gonna have animated segments and everything. So, there was 2 bits of personal news. Kyle, I don't think I even bothered to tell you this beforehand. Just in terms of upkeep with this show. We are having a bit of trouble with the iTunes link. I had someone ask me about that. We were hosting it on SoundCloud, and there's a lot of restrictions with that, so we're looking into other options. So that's going to be down or not updated for a little bit, but I will let everybody know when I do fix that. Also, someone had brought up to me on the last episode, wondering if we did live streams or something. We do not, at the moment anyway. But Kyle, I don't know what you think about this. About maybe doing live Q&A shows once we get enough people.
That's cool.
Alright.
Are we even there?
No, we're not even. No. I will put this challenge to our listenership, how little it is at the moment. If we can get, what's a reasonable number? 100 subscribers on YouTube, let's do that. If we can get 100, when we reach 100 subscribers, Kyle and I will do a monthly Q&A show where you can live ask us questions for an hour.
So, all we need are 98 more people?
I think we have 12 right now.
Oh. Well,
so so we need 92. Oh wait, no, we need 82. I knew how to do math. Anyway. So, let's do some news talkery.
Yeah.
Okay, so, in terms of news this week, wasn't a whole lot, but we scrapped some stuff together, and by we I mean Kyle. He did pretty much all the research this week, so thank you for that.
Yeah. Someone's got to carry the team.
Oh, fuck you. I do the research most of the rest of the time, so sorry you had to do it for 1 week. Sorry, I'm not trying to make this personal. So, 2 things that were kind of cool that came out this week. 2 fan projects, which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know about you, Kyle. Sad?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, this first one I thought was kind of cool. Someone did this fan Samurai Jack scene or something. It was a scene of Samurai Jack, but done in 3D models, and I thought it was actually, pretty well done. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was pretty cool. I've just never been a Samurai Jack fan. I have never been a Samurai Jack fan.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan. I just haven't really watched all of it. I remember watched the first episode when it came out when I was a kid. But my girlfriend has the hugest lady boner for Samurai Jack. Pretty much anything Gendy has made, she has a lady boner for.
I don't know. As a kid, I felt it was way too cinematic for me to get into. And
I think I can appreciate it more now than I'm an adult. But yeah, I can definitely agree. It was a little too serious for the audience they were going for.
Yeah, that was a huge turnoff for me. And I don't even know if it was there was a lot of build-up to drama and stuff. And thinking about it now, I don't know if it was, like, sarcastic in a way, too. Like, there was a shitload of build-up for some things, and it's like, were they doing it on purpose, or was it kind of the joke? Or I have no clue. It just super turn off for me. Didn't like it.
I have no idea. But then another fan project, which I guess has been in the works for a long time, this group of just random internet animators decided they were going to remake the trailer from Akira with Simpsons characters.
Well, from my understanding, they're trying to do, like, the whole movie or something.
Are they? I don't know.
think so, because it's based on... They're trying to do the whole manga with Simpsons characters, and I own a volume. It's just, the guy's always wanted it to be a non-profit thing, and he didn't want to sell it. I have a physical copy of it, but it's like random chapters. It doesn't make a story. It's just incoherent. So
I see.
I think they're trying to do it as a movie, and I think it's funny as fuck because they're using like the original Japanese voice sounds, and it's like it's great because you don't have someone trying to do a Homer impression or something like that.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. There's nothing worse than when someone tries to do their impression of a professional voice actor's voice.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, it's kind of cool. They're all doing it, like, everybody's got their own style, so it comes off as, like, the old Simpsons. It's not all soulless like the new one.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw it, but I remember a couple months ago, my girlfriend was showing me this, like, Shit, what was it? Oh, they, like, like, this group of people just reanimated an entire episode of Sailor Moon, but everyone got, like, a 2 to 5 second clip of the show, and they had to animate that scene. So, like, the style just keeps changing every couple seconds.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up and send it to you, but I thought that was really cool. It's not so much obvious here as it was in that, because the Sailor Moon one, like, everyone had, like, a really distinctly different style, so it was really interesting. But this one's, like, kinda... Like, they're trying to stay as true to The Simpsons as they can. It's not as stylized.
So, those two were pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully...
if you like either of The Simpsons or Samurai Jack, I would suggest looking those up. Maybe I'll put some links to it if I remember to.
So, like, another thing that happened, I guess Top Cat is getting another movie.
Yeah, like, I did not know about this until you told me that I guess Mexico just keeps making Top Cat movies.
Yeah, they recently had one that was, like, super, I don't know, flashy.
Huh.
Made in Flash, and it looked okay, but there's another one coming out, and it's all CG. It's just weird that they like that character.
Yeah, this is the Hanna-Barbera Top Cat, for anyone who was confused.
Is there any other one?
I don't know, maybe they thought we were saying like Top Gun or something. It's another homoerotic volleyball scene.
Anyway,
so...
No, it's weird, because they did a Johnny Bravo movie, and that was like him going to Bollywood, and I don't think that was...
I thought we made that. Like,
I don't know if we did or not.
They just never bothered to air it.
That's so dumb, though.
I only watched like the first like 5 minutes. It was like super Flash, but it had Jeff Bennett and all the voice actors back. So I guess Cartoon Network just like decided not to make it. But,
I have it on my computer. I just haven't bothered to watch it.
Well, you know. But yeah, it's really weird that of all characters, Mexico's like, we fucking love Top Cat. We're just gonna make movies of it.
Yeah.
So good for you, Mexico, for keeping Top Cat alive.
Another thing is, Disney is getting... They kind of have this relic of the hand-drawn animation stuff at Florida. It's Walt Disney, MGM Studios. It's kind of like their California Adventure in a sense. And it's going to get torn down, which sucks. It's I was reading about it myself, and people could watch animators draw and actually work, and it showed like all the movies. Like I think Lilo and Stitch was one of them, and like Mulan. So people could actually like see animators behind glass working on a movie, but it said like since 2004 it's not being really used for anything. They're just doing like classes. And it is true in a sense, because I went to Disneyland, Euro Disney, and they basically have the same thing. It's a MGM lot, different park, and they have like a movie with Eddie Murphy doing Mushu and like talking about animation and stuff. But
Yeah.
since hand drawn's not really the thing, they're gonna get rid of it, which is kind of sad. But
That's really sad. I didn't know that was getting torn down. I've had a few friends who have gone down to Disneyland and gone to that, and like I think that's a really cool concept. What I don't get is like you still have all these like 2D shows. Why not have some of that work in there instead of, since the movie stuff is kind of fading out?
well, it's just kind of dumb because from what I've read, they're getting rid of it to put like Star Wars stuff, I think Frozen stuff. So
For God's sake.
it comes off as pretty much money based. They're doing it for the money, which it's whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I think was a cool concept. You could go in and see how the process works. It's really kind of sad that that's going away now.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh Lord.
The next thing, I
Oh,
guess
God.
Hello Kitty is getting a new movie.
A new movie, or is this just like I don't know.
I don't know if you want to count the old anime crap.
Whatever. I don't know, but yeah, this is a thing that's happening apparently that needed to happen.
It's gonna cost $200 million.
What are they gonna spend it on? Fucking like, I don't know any animated film that's gone over $100 million to produce. What are they spending $200 million on?
Merchandising afterwards? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm wondering, is that $200 million just for the movie, or is that just all inclusive? Because if it's all inclusive, I'd understand it a little more. But if it's just like, no, this is just the money that's going into making this movie, that better be like the most amazing movie in history. This
It
better
will
be
be
like Titanic
hyper-
level.
It'll be hyper realistic.
Oh god.
It'll win a few Academy Awards.
It'll be like you could see all the follicles on Hello Kitty's face moving. In
Yes.
A realistic wind generator. And it's gonna be
Motion
so much
motion capturing.
motion. Okay. Now I want to know: is Tara Strong going to come back and reprise her role from her childhood to voice Hello Kitty?
She deserves it after getting snubbed for Bubbles.
I know. What's she doing now, except for everything?
Except for every female role in a cartoon.
Not even female role, even like little boy roles.
Oh, that's true. So now she's taking on male roles. It's fucked
What do you
up.
mean taking on? She's been doing that since forever, as long as I can remember.
So next, why
Yeah.
don't you do this one?
So
I'm tired of talking.
okay. So I thought this was actually kind of cool. Cartoon Network is opening this thing called Imagination Studios over in like Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. So not in America. And basically, what they're hoping to do with this project is they want to get like kids from like 6 to 12 to like show them how cartoons are made, how to get cartoons made, and just like how to develop ideas. And if I'm reading this right, they said that they might, take some of those ideas and make them into actual Cartoon Network shows.
Because kids don't know anything about money, so...
They don't, but they like know what they'd want to watch on TV. So it's like, get the kids to make the ideas for the show, because they know what they want to make. Cut the focus group out entirely.
Kids are gonna do, like, Poo Poo Man and...
Probably.
and stuff
But what
like
I
that.
want to know, where was this when I was a kid?
Yeah, that actually would have been...
Like, I would have killed for this. Like, when I was 6 years old, watching fucking Dexter and Rocko's Modern Life, I'm like, I want to make cartoons for a living. I don't know how to do any of that, though, because they didn't have readily access to the internet yet.
Could any of your ideas from 6-year-old, could those hold the show?
I don't even know what any of my... I don't think I had any developed ideas at 6 years old. I didn't really develop any, like, things I would want to even pitch a show to, like, high school. So,
But
still working on...
Even thinking now, like, high school shit,
Yeah.
probably a good reason it's not on the air right now.
That's true, yeah. But, I think it'd be cool, to see what these kids can produce. Especially, like, the fact they're not doing it in America. They're doing it more on the other side of the world. I think you'll get a better perspective of like what maybe you'll get a lot more creative ideas based on like their culture and. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, my brain is like fried today. I don't know why. But cool, cool project, Cartoon Network. I hope that goes well.
Well, from what I've read, they're gonna like teach kids how to storyboard and like.
Man, I don't want to do that.
Kind of script writing and stuff like that, which it sounds like a lot of shit to put a kid through. Because
hey man,
that's a lot of work.
Man, I wish I could learn that. I gotta learn storyboarding now on my own.
Yeah.
It's hard. So that's cool. So the last bit of news here, this just came out today, which it's not exactly animation based, but you know, I said we're an art and animation podcast, so this falls under art. One of the co-creator, Brian, I don't know the Brian guy. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Brian, the guy who co-created, you know, Avatar: Last Airbender, Legend of Korra, anyway. He's got a graphic novel coming out in 2017, so that's cool. Not a whole lot's been, you know, he just announced it today. It's going to be called, like, Thread Worlds. You know, so it just looks like a space adventure kind of book. And I think that's kind of cool, because I think him and I think Mike have been, you know, working on Avatar for, God, I think it's almost 10 years, or more than 10 years now. So I'm interested to see what other ideas they have, and can kind of break away from that Avatar universe.
I've never been a fan of their work, I'm sorry.
That's cool, man. I've said it a million times, I'm never going to be mad at anyone for not liking something. It's like, whatever. You like what you like.
It looks like it's like a rabbit character, like a rabbit chick. I don't know, looking at the artwork, but I completely do not take it seriously at all. Just because they had to throw a word in there, and it's like, nah, dismissed.
Oh, what word?
Well, so apparently it's a young scientist from a primitive planet, and the Empire is like fading away because it's oppressive traditions, and one of them forbids women to read and write.
Oh boy.
And it's stuff like this, and I guess it takes place on 5 different planets, and I guess their
Kyle,
technology.
I think what your real problem is, you're against women empowerment. Is that what I should take away from this?
No, the thing is, they're like, well, we gotta smash the patriarchy and stuff like this, and
I mean,
I don't know. That shit always bothers me, because, I don't know.
Kyle's anti-woman.
I'm not anti-women, I just think it's so fucking stupid when people talk about patriarchy in a first world.
I guess so. I don't know. Yeah. Sorry, Tumblr people, if Kyle's comments offend you.
And there's more of that to come later.
Later? Oh yeah, you have some rants prepared, don't you?
I do.
Alright. Ah, why's my throat so dry today? Anyway, so I think that's about it for news, Kyle, unless you got anything else.
It's not really animation based or cartoon based, or really, but it kind of ties into it.
Go for it.
So over the weekend, with the 4th of July shit
America
going on, so this guy lit a firework off his head and killed himself.
Oh yeah.
So you're probably wondering, why does this have to do with anything? Turns out that guy was a cast member, I guess, for Disneyland, who played Gaston.
Oh.
So everybody's making fun that this guy, like, nobody can kill themselves like Gaston. And,
Oh
like,
no.
it's just so bad, but I thought that was
taste.
interesting that, I don't know, some guy could be that dumb, but also...
Well, he plays Gaston, so...
Yeah,
at least he's still
much.
in character. So,
yeah.
Sorry, dumb drunk guy who got his head blown off.
Yeah, so there's the other news.
If I believed in God, I'd send prayers out to your family. I still send warm wishes and hope that you I don't know, I'm making this worse. I'm sorry.
So we've got women hating and atheism. We've covered the
Atheism
bases.
and speaking ill of the dead. We're just offending all kinds of people today.
I'm
all
all
right.
for that.
I'm sorry, everybody. I try to keep this as like family friendly as I can. You know, as family friendly as I can with swearing every 5 seconds. But all right, so I think that's about it for news. Before Kyle and I say anything else stupid, so we're gonna take a break for a few minutes and come back, and we're gonna talk about some movie cartoon stuff. Alright, so we're back from break. And Kyle, I have 2 things to say to you.
Are
One,
they dumb jokes?
no, they're not dumb jokes. One, I'm pissed off because you and I are recording over Skype and you have your camera on. That's the fucking middle of the day still over there.
Oh.
It's like 10:30 at night here, and it's dark as hell.
Yeah, it's
Just-
like almost 8 o'clock right now, and the light's still out.
Jesus. I don't know. The other thing I'm actually excited about, this is just dumb, has nothing to do with animation or anything. So this company who made this giant robot suit,
Wants to fight Japan.
yeah, this U.S. company made a giant robot suit and made a declarative challenge. They issued a challenge to this other company in Japan who also made a giant robot. And they're like, our giant robot should fight. And I was waiting like all week for see if the Japanese company would ever get back to them, and apparently they finally did today. And they're like, bring it on.
Oh, I thought they would just be like stupid Americans.
No, man, I want to see a giant robot fight. This is gonna be awesome. I want to know like when this is gonna happen, and they need to like live stream it because this is gonna be like amazing. 'Cause,
We
like,
need like we need like a giant monster to fight, not like fucking I don't know.
Kyle, we're not gonna
robots.
bioengineer Pacific Rim into the real world. We could see how well that went.
I want real life monsters.
We can't make real life kaijus. Which actually is semi-related to what we're going to be talking about in a little bit. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so, let's get into what we're actually going to talk about. So, with it being summer, it is prime time, movie time.
All of the time.
All of the time. But especially in summer, where people just put out the biggest, dumbest movies they can, you know, to get butts in the seats. And I don't know about you, Kyle, I'm fucking stoked for Ant-Man next week.
Is it next week?
Next week or the week after, I don't know, it's on the 17th.
Yeah.
So, there you go. So, like I said earlier, Kyla did most of the research this week, so he compiled a list of cartoon shows that were based on good and or passable and or not so good movies.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be quite honest, I have not watched a lot of these, and or have very peripheral knowledge of them. But I will do my best to help.
Well, I think it's funny because a lot of these adult movies have these like weird kids cartoons, and it's like they absolutely do not need them, but money. I don't know.
That is,
They wanted money.
I don't know, man. The 90s and the late 80s was just, well, probably even the early 80s, I don't know, it was before my time. Just full of this kind of stuff. And I'm kind of glad that's kind of, you know, not become a thing anymore. We're just like, alright, this big hit movie's coming out, let's make a show on it, even though it has, you know, nothing, no show-based qualities that would demand for it.
Well, kinda, not really, because I think they're working on a Pacific Rim one, as weird as that is.
I'd watch
remember
Pacific
hearing-
Rim every week.
They're making a cartoon, from what I remember. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So, we've got a list of cartoons, like we do every week. This is becoming just a list show, isn't it? These
Yeah,
things
but
exist,
it's not
and
like
this
it's not like a cracked article or nothing.
I actually listen to the Cracked podcast sometimes.
I don't. They're
It's like
fucking
low.
stupid.
It's like low on my list of priorities, but if I have nothing else to listen to, I'll put it on.
It's funny because I have a list of websites that I never go on.
Oh.
And they're, like, number one on that list.
Okay.
Anyways.
All right.
So, cartoons based on movies.
Let's get into it.
So, the first one I want to talk about is probably the first one I remember. So, Beetlejuice. That's one of the movies where it's like, how the hell did this get a cartoon? But
Yeah, right.
it actually worked pretty well. From what I remember, it was played on Nickelodeon.
I saw it on Cartoon Network, and then when I looked it up, I guess it's on both channels at some point.
I don't know. They
Like-
just flipped the rights everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. Like in like the early '90s, like early to mid '90s, like they would just throw shows back and forth between like all the cartoon channels because they just did not give a shit.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not doing good on this one. Here, fuck it, you can have it. See what you do with it.
So yeah, the Beetlejuice cartoon was like kind of weird.
Yeah, from
So-
what I remember.
I guess it was originally on ABC, and then it went to Fox, and
Good old Fox
I don't know.
Kids.
I just remember it was really silly, really cartoony. They added a bunch of new characters just to keep it lively.
Yeah.
There was like a skeleton. There was like a gossamer hairy monster that was a cowboy. A spider.
Yeah.
Just weird characters, and they like lived in the underworld, and they did a bunch of stuff. And I want to say like Beetlejuice was kind of the leader in a sense, not really.
Yeah, I don't remember too much about it in terms of plot, but I do remember as a kid, it would be on, like during the summer, it would just be on like around like 11 o'clock in the morning, so I would just, see it because there was nothing else on TV at that time. But I remember just like really liking the art style, like everything's really fast paced, everything's like really high energy all the time. Which,
yeah, the art style is fantastic in it.
yeah, for kids, that'll definitely keep your attention.
Yeah. I mean, he's drawn super ugly, but he's like, I don't know, he's still super appealing.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good way to go about it is that back then you got all these like cute, kind of cutesy, cartoonish characters, but you got someone that looks a little grotesque, got a little macabre-esque art style in there. It kind of sets it apart from everybody else.
It's just weird. They lived in this world where it's just like platforms attached to like fucking stairways and like I don't know. It was just a really surreal, macabre area. I remember liking it a lot, and it's kind of cool because they just released them all on DVD.
Nice.
And I bought the first season, but I guess everything else is like internet exclusive, and I don't feel like buying the rest.
Internet exclusive. Oh, like like buy it from like Amazon Prime
Yeah.
or it's on iTunes or whatever.
Yeah,
That's
so
dumb.
eh.
I don't buy DVDs a whole lot, but sometimes there's just something I want a physical copy of, and it really pisses me off when I can't. This is
Yeah.
what leads to piracy, people. Something isn't available, we'll find the means.
Yeah, that's why I would just rather stream it.
By
to
the
be
way, I'm
honest.
not advocating piracy, shady government people who may be listening.
I will, but anyways, another great pair of cartoons that I liked as a kid, and it's weird because it's weird because these will never get a DVD release, which I don't understand why. But like Aladdin and the Little Mermaid,
Oh, yeah.
those were based on movies, and it just expanded a bit on their universe. And I liked it because Aladdin had a lot of weird characters that were introduced, and it did follow the events of like the first movie and I think the second movie.
Yeah,
I think it was-
wait, wasn't it like... Because I watched the movies, like the Aladdin sequels as a kid. I had those on VHS. But it was like the Return of Jafar was like the pilot episode for the show,
Yeah,
and then the episode or the movie where his dad comes back is like the finale.
yeah.
That's about all I know about this show.
It was between the second movie and then the third movie.
Right, but I feel so bad because I didn't have the Disney Channel as a child, so I missed out on like so much Disney stuff. Like I never watched DuckTales or Tailspin or any of
Oh,
these
shit.
movie-based shows. I missed out on so much, man.
I used to watch those kind of around kindergarten area.
Because it was back in the day when the Disney Channel was still a premium channel, so you had to pay extra for it. It's not like the standard is like it is now.
Oh, I don't know. I remember watching the Disney Channel a lot because they had like dinosaurs and like all the different stuff.
I don't remember dinosaurs because we had a VHS of like 3 episodes we'd watch over and over again. I tried to marathon that a couple months ago because it's all on Netflix now. It's so stupid.
It's actually like a solid show though.
It's a good show, but it's like it's very dated.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the puppetry of it. It's all Jim Henson stuff. Anyway, I think we're getting off topic again.
I know.
Sorry.
So, I really like the Aladdin cartoon, and I always thought it was funny because they wanted Robin Williams back, and I remember Disney got in like this big old fight with Robin Williams, and he was like he didn't want to do a sequel, so they got Dan Castellaneta to do Genie.
Fucking Homer Simpson.
Yeah, and like The Simpsons hadn't really taken off that well.
Yeah, so you get him for cheap.
Yeah, so you have Dan doing like a Robin Williams impression, and it's like almost exactly the same. Like you can barely tell the difference at all.
Oh
which
yeah,
I fucking love.
I only watched those 2 sequels, but I know more of that from when they got Dan to do the Genie and the Kingdom Hearts games. It was like,
yeah,
it's weird because in Kingdom Hearts, he's been doing Homer for a while now, so you can kind of tell that he's doing a good impression, but little bits of Homer sneak in there. It's weird. It's so fucking bizarre.
So I thought it was cool because they introduced a lot of like new characters, a lot of new villains, just for them to fight whatever. Genie would have his own things.
Nice.
Almost like Fairly Odd Parents, the rules kind of crap. He fought other genies.
Nice.
There was like a cat lady, Mirage, and just like a bunch of weird stuff. There was another like almost, is it Rule 63? It's like a Rule 63 Aladdin, where it's like a female street rat.
Lady, the female version.
Yeah.
I believe it. And does she cause strife between him and Jasmine?
I think so. I think there's like some fucking love triangle, something like that.
I believe it. This is going to be a common thing that I'm going to bring up, but the only episode I've actually sat down and watched of the Aladdin show was the fucking crossover with Hercules.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's so dumb. It's like just Jafar and Hades are just like have this really fucking stupid plan and then they just team up, and it's like you can just tell this is a ham-fisted crossover.
And then like you have weird characters like the one dude who brought back Jafar.
Oh yeah.
From the second movie, and he's like Jason Alexander.
Oh yeah.
They had a lot of good voice actors in this show. And Tim Curry's in here too. Like, check that out. But
dude, have you seen Tim Curry lately? He's old as fuck.
No, he's not old as fuck. He had a stroke.
Oh. My bad.
Yeah, he's not doing well.
I'm sorry, Tim Curry. I love your work. I hope you feel better.
Now, with the Little Mermaid, I don't remember too much about it. I only really remember the theme song.
I don't remember shit about it.
I just remembered, like, I think there was another witch. There was another witch, and it was mostly like, oh, there's a shark, and I don't know, it was just weird. I don't remember too many villains and stuff from it. Oh yeah, that's right. They had a new mermaid, and it was like, I don't know, a merman? Yeah. They introduced some, like, little boy to join her, and he always became, like, the damsel in distress.
Well, hey, man, that's what the 90s was full of. You got all these, like, dumb little kids always getting into trouble, then the hero has to go save their dumbass.
Yeah. And then Tim Curry was in this one, too.
Oh.
But it was mostly, like, just weird talking animals instead of, like, other mer people.
Well, it's sea life.
True. You're kind of limited to stuff there.
I mean, it's a little more interesting to, like, show different, like, fish talking than it is like, okay, here's another mer person. It's like, okay, we get it. Fish butt. And all that.
Like, they have a character called the Lobster Mobster, and it was just, like, this stupid 1920s stereotype of a gangster, and just oh my god.
I will say that character is amazing only based on his pun. This looks like you do.
So I don't know. I don't remember too much about The Little Mermaid, but I really like Aladdin. But like I said, they'll never do a DVD.
Yeah, what the hell, Disney?
Kinda stupid.
They'll do diamond collections of all their old movies, but they won't acknowledge the fact they had TV shows in the 90s.
Well, I mean, they do have DVDs of, like, DuckTales. They have DVDs of Tailspin, Goof Troop, that kind of stuff. But I don't know if it's just based on, they're not really all that original characters. Maybe they can't sell it. I don't know. Because I know they have legal issues with, like, Tarzan and stuff. So that might be a reason.
I have no idea.
So the next cartoon would be The Real Ghostbusters.
Ooh.
That was a big movie back in like the 80s. And they had the original cartoon, which I didn't really care for as a kid. Mainly because they were wearing those dorky uniforms that were like just bright colors and stuff.
But the dorky uniforms are so endearing.
Tan
jumpsuits.
It's really dated, but I understand why they did it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Ninja Turtles thing where they all wore red bandanas and they were like, nah, you should give them all different corresponding ones.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the reasons why they did it, just to differentiate the characters, other than, the 3 white guys and a black guy.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny because there was another Ghostbusters cartoon, and they were just like, nah, this is the real Ghostbusters.
Oh,
like that
I forgot there were 2 of them.
The other one was just really weird. There's a monkey and, like, very weird cartoon.
Yeah, that's weird.
But, they both have, like, nothing to do with each other.
Yeah, like, Real Ghostbusters was weird because the cartoon versions, like, looked hardly anything like the actors.
No, not at all.
Like, Bill Murray's character is not a redhead, and, fucking...
No, he didn't have red hair. It was Dan Aykroyd's character that kind of had red hair.
Oh. What the hell image am I looking at? Okay, but seriously, okay, which one is the Ghostbusters that died recently?
That would be Egon.
Yeah.
He's the blonde in that.
Yeah, why is he blonde in this? Didn't he have, like, black hair in the movie? He certainly doesn't have a pompadour.
Man. It's just weird because it kind of takes place after the first one. Mm-hmm. They talk about the whole Gozer fight, and the whole reason that they got new costumes, they say that they ordered the costumes before the fight.
Oh.
And in that episode, they're like covered in marshmallow goo, and they have like they're saying it's like, oh, your old uniforms are tainted. They have a bunch of residue on it, so we have to wear these cool new ones.
Okay.
It's like, they're not really all that cool. I don't like them.
Okay, no, you know the real reason they did that. You gotta sell.
Why?
You gotta sell toys, man.
Well, yeah, everything about this, like this whole show is about selling toys to kids.
Exactly.
And shit.
Like we need new Ghostbusters merchandise. Make a show and make them all different colors, so that kids will collect all of them.
Exactly.
Oh, 80s, full of marketing ploys.
But I know the cartoon did, like, super well, because there's stuff people still won't shut up about, like Ecto Cooler. A lot of people love to bring... Yeah.
I'm sad that I've never had Ecto Cooler.
I know. I never had that either, but...
I should make that the banner for this episode, just a box of Ecto Cooler.
Yeah. I never got to try that, but at least I had Surge. That was cool.
I miss Surge. I miss Blue Pepsi. Am I the only one who remembers Blue Pepsi?
Blue Pepsi was like gummy bear flavored.
Yeah, it was. It was delicious, and I'm sad that they don't make it anymore. I'm real broken up about it.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Yeah.
Back on topic.
Yeah.
Because I know this is very boring.
No, this is entertaining. I'm invested.
I thought it was pretty interesting because Slimer didn't even have a name in the first movie.
Well, they need a quirky animal-ish sidekick.
Yeah, but like he never had a name in the movie. It was only in the cartoon they gave him a name.
I always thought that was weird. Like, out of all the characters in Ghostbusters, like that's the one They're like, no, this is our mascot now.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, the logo was kind of a mascot, because he's in the theme song and stuff.
Yeah.
And I kind of dig that ghost more.
Yeah, you know. Oh, well.
So, like, I like the old one, because it was very 80s. A lot of the 80s cartoons was, like, almost straight-up anime. If you look at a lot of characters, the way they're expressive, that kind of stuff.
But I think they used to... I mean, I could be dead wrong here, but I think they used to ship a lot of stuff over to Japan.
Well, it was like the Korean animators and stuff,
Right.
but it's like almost 100% art direction over there, because they're very anime influenced.
Mm-hmm.
It goes into the next thing, the Extreme Ghostbusters, which
Ghostbusters.
I absolutely do not like. I did not like it as a kid.
It looks so hardcore 90s. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that
trying
was-
so hard.
That's like the thing. They were trying super hard to be like, oh, we're cool, we're extreme, and they made it so, like, politically correct, it's so dumb.
I want to do a show later down the line. It's just like all these 90s cartoons that are like trying so hard to be extreme and edgy and with the kids. Oh my god. The 90s was amazing, but yet so painful.
This is like the Burger King Kids Club of Ghostbusters.
Jeez.
It's so dumb. They're like, oh, well, now we have a girl on the team, and she's goth and super cool.
Wasn't she also voiced by Tara Strong?
Maybe?
I think so.
Well, they have a goth girl, and then they're like, and now we have a Latino guy, and he's a slacker.
Oh.
And then...
Way to reinforce stereotypes.
Yeah. And then they're like, here's a guy in a wheelchair, a paraplegic, because that's someone you want on your team.
That is the Burger King's Kid Club.
Yeah, and then they're like,
Weird.
and then a black guy, because the original Ghostbusters had a black guy.
And I'm like,
Yeah. I don't know.
we're filling some kind of quota.
Exactly. Some agenda. I didn't like the art style. It was very ugly to me. All the
Yeah.
monsters were super ugly. They didn't have a charm to them.
Yeah, I don't remember too much about either of these Ghostbusters shows, to be quite honest, but I'd catch an episode here or there. And yeah, I'm with you. Extreme Ghostbusters was like... the art style turned me off so much. I'm like,
Yeah, like, characters have their gums exposed, and it's just like
yeah,
an ugly style. I don't know.
yeah.
But it's one thing I want to bring up is that I'm going to be talking about, like, the Godzilla cartoon from the 80s. Or, not the 80s, but the
The 90s.
1998 one.
Yeah.
And then there's Men in Black 2. They're all by the same company. And not only that, but there's the Jumanji cartoon. They're all by the same company, and they're all kind of just really hard on the eyes.
Well, don't spoil too much there. We'll tell you why.
Yeah, exactly. So
Tell me about
I don't
these
know.
Godzilla shows that you so eloquently brought up. Segways.
yeah, so the first Godzilla cartoon was Hanna-Barbera.
Good old Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, we know how much I love them.
Yeah. Was it last week you were saying how much you hate them?
Yeah, I
God.
think they're abomination on animation themselves. Anyways, it was made by Hanna-Barbera, and it was produced by Toho, and it was just a bunch of scientists with Godzilla as like their guardian, and I just think it's funny because I read that they couldn't have the roar in the cartoon.
Aw. That's
So
like the
it's
best
just-
part, though.
I know, so it's just some guy doing a voice. It's like
Well.
Frank Welker doing monster voices.
Yeah.
In true Hanna-Barbera fashion, they thought it was a great idea to bring on an obnoxious sidekick because Scooby-Doo needs
This is the scrappy duo of Godzilla.
scrappy dude. Yeah, so they brought Godzuki because they needed to do
Godzuki.
that. And he's like just this retarded dragon. This little stupid dragon with like little wings.
Oh, God.
And he's fat as fuck, and he can barely fly, and it's just a mess. I don't like this cartoon because it absolutely 100% does not look like Godzilla at
Yeah.
all. It's like the Super Mario Brothers Super Show where they're like, hey, Bowser? Nah, fuck that guy. we're gonna have King Koopa.
Well, in their defense, they only were, like, up to Mario 2, so they didn't have an established art style yet.
They just combined Wart and Bowser, basically. That was King Koopa.
More or less.
I don't know. I just didn't like that American Godzilla looks so shitty. He looks like a T-Rex. That's, like, basically it.
Okay, so, correct me if I'm wrong, was there an episode of Scooby-Doo where they meet Godzuki? Like, I feel like this is a thing. I don't know if I'm crazy.
I feel like every single Hanna-Barbera character met every single one.
Yeah, I mean, you had that, like, what was that show where, like, Yogi Bear and, like, all of the other Hanna-Barbera characters were, like, just hanging out and whatever? Like, Huckleberry Hound and the...
It was like they had an arc, like a flying arc or some stupid shit like that.
Something like that. This is way before my time.
I don't think they had a cameo or not.
Well, I'm probably just crazy then. Which is not surprising to anybody.
Yeah, pretty much. So then they did the 1998 Godzilla movie.
It's a lot of fish.
Which was fucking terrible.
It was based on a terrible movie. What'd you expect?
I got, like, mad respect for the original Godzilla movie and the whole franchise of Godzilla, but the American one was just the worst piece of shit. And it's, like, one of the worst movies ever made, and anyone can agree with that.
I wouldn't say it's, like, worst movie ever made material, but, yeah, it's pretty bad.
Because they're like, hey, he's an iguana now.
Yeah, he's an iguana, he's asexual in some sense.
Yeah, he can make a bunch of eggs that are fertilized, apparently. And
yeah, they never really bother to explain that. Just can.
Yeah, and then the size change. It's like big as, like, taller than buildings in some shots, and then he's, like, smaller than buildings, and it was just really dumb.
Okay,
but...
I will say one thing as defense. I like the design of Godzilla, like the weird raptor design, but I do not like it as a design for Godzilla. Like, if it was a completely different monster, perfectly fine. Cool, whatever. But it is not Godzilla.
I can get behind that.
But I do think it's hilarious in, like, one of the Japanese movies, they actually had OG Godzilla just beat the living crap out of the American one.
Yeah, because I think even they didn't like it.
They hate that movie so much, so they're just like, you know what? We're just gonna have our Godzilla just, like, beat the ever-loving shit out of your Godzilla because we can do that.
So, like, because Star Wars Episode 1 wasn't out yet, and that was the big summer movie, they decided to do a cartoon based on that. And it actually wasn't that bad. It was kind of like a villain of the week monster fight.
I can get behind that. We need a kaiju fight show.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It still kept the shit like, oh, he's still an iguana. And...
Well, wasn't it like the Godzilla in that show is a baby of the one in the movie?
Yes, because it has this, like, fatherly, or, the main dude or something. It's the first thing it sees when it's hatched, and it thinks it's his mom or dad or whatever. And
it imprinted.
They have, like, this parental link. I don't know.
That's weird.
I actually thought it was cool, like, design-wise for the monsters. I liked them.
Now, I kind of... Was Mothra... Did Mothra show up once?
I
swear I saw Mothra.
I'm not too sure.
I don't know. This is like... I think it was like on Fox Kids, and...
Yeah.
From what I remember, Fox Kids had a lot of these movie shows. Like, I remember they... God, what was that movie? That Evolution movie. They made a show based on that.
Yeah, I remember that.
I did not watch that because I did not like that movie. It was stupid.
I didn't watch it. Like most of these, there was better shit on the air. I'm sorry to say. Was there not better shit?
Oh, there's plenty of it. It's like, a lot of these shows were strictly to capitalize on a popular trend, and as soon as it died down, they dropped it.
Yeah.
But
so it looks like out of all the monsters, none of them, like, returned, really. The only thing where it's like kinda, it says Cyber Godzilla, which is a cyborg, and that's kind of mecha.
It's kind of Mecha Godzilla, but kind of not, without getting sued.
Exactly.
Oh,
so I don't know. I kind of dug it because it was Monster of the Week show, and then like the whole picture of him on the Empire State Building. I really like that. To me, that's kind of like iconic, the look of it. But yeah, fuck 1998 Godzilla.
Poor Matthew Broderick. What happened?
I know.
What happened to your career? So, okay, I'll take over for this one because this is like one show I actually watched and actually really enjoy. So, I think this is before they made the sequel.
Yeah, it was before the first one.
So, I actually really like the first Men in Black movie. And this is really, really dumb, but the you know the part in the movie where Will Smith is like just now learning that there's aliens and they're sitting on a park bench with Tommy Lee Jones, and he's like, there are so many people on this planet, and a person can be smart, but people are dumb, panicking animals. And I'm like, that is, ever since I was a kid, that is the mantra that I live by.
We've all seen the Tumblr GIF set.
I know, and I love it every time it pops up, because it's like, it's so true. It's like, I can love a person, like, you're awesome, but I hate people on the whole. Because they're stupid.
That was like the edgiest shit you could say. Probably. That was like high school, teenage, edgy.
Shut up. Let me live my life. No, but anyway, so yeah, they made a show based on, you know, Men in Black, but they took some of the liberties with it. Like, Agent K never got neuralized. They just never bothered to bring that up. You got L working there as full-time.
Actually, they did, though.
What? Did they?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've...
It's in the notes.
Oh, is it? I feel that every so often some writer of Hollywood learns that the MLBs makes a movie about them. That's so stupid!
Well, God. That's what their thing was.
Oh god, wait, so the movie was based on the show, which is the real-life activity.
So basically what they're saying is...
How long has it been since I watched this?
Basically what happened was they're saying that Hollywood-type people will find out about the Men in Black and make movies about it, so the movie you saw was just...
a recreation?
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna do a retcon, I guess that's the way to do it. No, I really liked this show. It was cool how they took it a little more seriously. Like, it was not... From what I remember, it was not, like, very comedy-based at all.
No, it was very action-y.
Yeah, it was really action-y. I like that, because, you know, the Men in Black movie is pretty funny, because, you know, you got Will Smith in there, and, you know, his character in the show, you know, is, like, the comic relief or whatever, but I really appreciated it, that, you know, it took it a little more seriously, and you got all these alien designs coming in every week, and all these, I don't know, weird shit going on all the time.
The only thing I really remember was I think it was the theme song where they're, like, looking at people walking around.
Dude, that theme song is amazing. Like, if you have not watched the opening credits to the Men in Black show, watch that. It is some trippy animation. But,
so, yeah.
Yeah, that
keep going.
Sorry. Yeah, this actually, from what I remember, it actually went on for a while, like 4 seasons or whatever. So it ran its course. Yeah, that was about the time that I was, like, really getting into pretty much anything that Kids WB was shelling out. That was my Saturday morning right there.
I just remember, like, Nickelodeon started rerunning it.
Oh yeah, they did.
On a stupid block, and then, like, Invader Zim was tagged onto it too.
Hey man, gotta get some
kind
aliens
of funny.
in there. But hey man, anything to keep that show alive. That was cool. And you said that, you know, they basically retconned it. I like it that it is a separate thing from the movie. That way they can do their own stuff without being limited too much.
Well, that's kind of, I don't know, aside from money and toys and all that kind of shit, it's kind of good that they could do animation, because they can get away with a lot more.
Yeah, like
on a less budget.
Yeah, it's cool because, like, you know, in animation you can, I feel like they got a lot more creative with the monster designs than they would have in the movies, because they're trying to base these in reality, and a lot of the more monster, non-human-esque aliens, you know, not so great. The special effects are a little dated, but yeah, I really like the different kind of aliens they show up, and there's a lot of in the movie. They made mention to a lot of alien species that you never actually saw, but in the show they finally got into some of their backstories and showed you what they actually were.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Now, one thing I remembered was, I don't know if anybody remembers this or if this was a California thing or not, but they had like a tie-in with DZ Discovery Zone, and it was like pretty much the setup from the first movie, the shooting range, and they like recreated that shooting range at this
that's
like
shit. I want to do that.
Yeah, it was just the Chuck E. Cheese knockoff, and they redid that.
Now, I do remember DC Discovery Zone, because I did that like every weekend, because it was like on the other side of town. So my dad would just drop me off there. I'm like, go have fun for an hour. I'm like, cool. I'm down with that.
I'm sure you could find a commercial on YouTube or something advertising it.
All I remember in terms of merchandising, because I don't think they had a whole lot for the show, but I remember they did like toys and I think it was Burger King or whatever, because I remember I had a really cheap Neuralizer toy back in the day, and all it would do was just light up red. It wouldn't do anything, but I thought it was cool.
I had like one of those, what is it, Nightcrawler things, and he had like squishy insides.
Nice.
I think those toys were based on the cartoon and not the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they were based on the show, so that was cool. Yeah.
So next...
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna dub this section the Jim Carrey trilogy.
We're just gonna lump in a bunch of shit because I don't remember them too well, and
I can remember some parts of it. I just don't remember liking them at all.
Yeah. So there was a Mask cartoon, a Dumb and Dumber one, and an Ace Ventura cartoon.
That was fun.
All those adult movies needed a kids cartoon.
Yeah.
But the Mask, man, I don't remember anything. I remember having toys. I didn't even watch the show.
Like I said, this was kind of a theme for for earlier. I only watched the only episode I can remember of The Mask and or Ace Ventura was the episode they did a crossover between the two, because I went and looked it up later on.
It seems like you just like crossovers.
I do. Like, man, I will put up with the dumbest shit because I like when two universes cross over. Because, alright, this is a little embarrassing to admit. A couple years ago, this is like 10 years ago now, Nickelodeon did a video game where they just crossed over like a bunch of different universes or whatever, and I own that game on 4 systems.
That doesn't even sound like a good game, man.
No, it was terrible. But I own Nicktoons Unite on, I think it was the DS, the GBA, the PS2. Okay, I only owned it on 3 because I didn't own the GameCube version because I didn't have a GameCube. But, like, I will put up with so much dumb shit for a crossover. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Well, I will say that I bought the stupid Cartoon Network crossover game.
Which one?
It was like the Smash Brothers ripoff. And
Punch Time Explosion?
Yeah.
I wanted to get it, but it just looks so awful.
It's like the 3DS didn't have any games out, so that was just something.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
So anyways, The Mask, I didn't remember too much about it. I just remember having toys, and I kind of do remember watching it now, but I do not remember anything at all.
Yeah. I mean, I only have a really fading memory of Ace Ventura and Mask because it was on. I don't know when it was exactly, but they would like show them in a block at like 6 in the morning, right before I went to school.
Yeah.
And I would occasionally catch Ace Ventura because I think Mask was on before it, so before I woke up. You know, it was. I think Mask probably took it a little more seriously because the art style wasn't as wonky. Like Ace Ventura, super stylized and
yeah,
you know, but the human designs in Mask were a little more realistic, I guess, for lack of a better word. So all I can remember from that is like Rob Paulson trying to do a Jim Carrey impression in both shows.
Yeah, I've read a quote where he's saying he's like being Jim Carrey for less money, but I don't think he's like, I don't know. Well, I'm not gonna say he's a spot-on Jim Carrey.
He's not spot-on Carrey impression, but I think he gets a lot of the more extreme mannerisms down.
Yeah.
Like, he can do a lot of the catchphrases with the same inflection. So, you know, for a cheaply produced kids cartoon, you know, I guess it works. But it's so weird, because for those two shows, when they did a crossover, you had, like, Ace Ventura coming over into the the more realistic Mask world. The art style clashed so much. It was so horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you know anything about this Dumb and Dumber cartoon.
The Dumb and Dumber one, I kind of caught a couple of them. Mm-hmm. I just thought it was dumb where they're like, hey, we have to add new characters. Let's give them a pet. But it did have, like, kind of the classic Cartoon Network style, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at, like, images from it, and, like, it says here it was, like, made by Hanna-Barbera, and it's like, yeah, this looks like a show that would have been, like, in the What a Cartoon show. Like, this would have been a pilot.
Yeah, it was around, like Two Stupid Dogs era, kind of.
Yeah, it looks just like that.
And I can kind of dig it. I do remember watching it as a kid, but, I mean, it's not something that I've ever thought, in 20 years, oh man, I should really rewatch this.
Yeah.
Like, none of these that we're reporting on are kind of like that. I do kind of want to watch the Aladdin and Little Mermaid, though.
Yeah, I kind of... sometimes I feel like on this show we're, like, striving to, like, well, we gotta tell you all about the good stuff, but no, we're gonna tell you about some bad stuff. Stuff maybe you want to avoid or horribly remind you that they exist.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to watch them.
It's not all sunshine and rainbows
here. Just have to remember them. The cool thing, I guess, if you even think it's a cool thing, about the Ace Ventura show was, it says it's, like, one of the first things Seth MacFarlane did.
Yeah. I do, yeah, you remember you telling me that, but, we obviously see where that got him.
Yeah.
But,
so, that was probably around the time he did, like, Larry and Steve.
Yeah, probably. But,
because he worked on Johnny Bravo, too, I know
that. Yeah, he did. Yeah, with Butch Hartman and all that stuff. It's weird to think that, like, Butch Hartman and Seth MacFarlane are, like, best friends.
I know.
Like, as a concept, that is weird to me.
Oh, well.
I don't know.
And then there was a Jumanji cartoon, which was just eh.
Okay, so I want to say right up front, this show pisses me off for one reason. Is like for the longest time, up until like a month ago, I would like go around saying like, oh, it's the same people who did like Rugrats and Real Monsters, that Classy Scupo company. Found out when we rewatched Jumanji last month, like not even remotely related.
No.
It's like, why does the style look exactly the same?
I don't know. I felt the same way, but I just find it funny that Godzilla, Ghostbusters, and Men in Black, and Jumanji were all the same people. It was the same company.
Which is weird because like all the art styles are like so vastly different.
Yeah.
I guess they got some range then. I guess we can say that. A little bit of positive praise there. No, man, but it's just so weird because when I look at it, it's like proto-Wild Thornberrys.
It does look like that, and it's just weird.
It's just, I don't know, it's weird.
I don't know. I remember it was played on UPN, and like I've always said, there was just better stuff to watch.
Yeah.
I was more into a cartoon called, it's like The Monster and the Mouse.
No idea.
Oh, it was like a Frankenstein monster with like a Mickey Mouse knockoff. Oh. I was more into that. I didn't want to watch Jumanji, but I think it's funny because when I went to France the first time, they're still playing it on TV.
Huh.
Like it's a new thing. Like, here you go. It's just filler crap. That
like France, it's not the 90s anymore, right?
Yeah, I don't know. They were just playing weird stuff. Like if you remember Space Goofs and like.
I don't.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, if there's one thing I can say positive about all these shows, even though we don't really care for them too much, except for Men in Black, which is an amazing show. It seemed like in the 90s and maybe like the early 2000s, they, made this habit of just pushing these shows out because, let's capitalize on a popular property. But they don't really do that anymore because I think kids finally got wise to it.
No, they still kind of do that because they, at least with DreamWorks, because they had like Kung Fu Panda, Monsters vs. Aliens.
Well, they're basing them like already on animated properties and just making further ventures of that cartoon. But it's like a lot of these shows are like adult movies that were converted into kid-friendly shows, and I think that trend just kind of died out after a while because like kids just don't care about it.
Yeah, probably cost too much.
Probably.
For not enough.
I just don't imagine the viewership was too high. So good for you kids on realizing wisen up and showing the man that you don't want to watch dumb shows.
Getting woke.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I got.
So
really.
there you go, everybody. There's a list of shows that existed at some point and were basically just cash grabs. Go watch Men in Black, though. It's great, and I think most of it's on YouTube at this point.
I think anything's on YouTube at this point.
Probably. I don't know. I was trying to rewatch. I think I watched like the first season and a half of Men in Black a couple months ago because I'm like, I just need to rewatch this, and I had a good time. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But all right. Well, Kyle, unless you have anything else for us today.
Nah, I'm good.
All right. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I say tuning in. This isn't a radio. Listening to the Ink and Paint Club podcast for this week. If you like this episode, as always, please share this wherever you can. We're really trying to garner or build up our listenership here, so every little reblog or Facebook sharing helps us a great deal. In the description, there's links to our various social media pages. We're on Facebook and Tumblr and a Twitter that I don't think anyone follows still. I don't think I've updated in like 3 weeks.
Jeez.
Well, no one's following it, so who am I updating it for? Maybe I'll close it. I don't know. But there's also links to Kyle and I's various personal pages if you'd like to follow us in a more intimate nature. So we do these episodes every Tuesday. So yeah, come back next Tuesday where Kyle and I will be talking about something.
Comic-Con, I thought, wasn't it?
Well, it depends on it. Like, I want to do a Comic-Con episode next week if enough stuff happens.
No.
Because that really depends. But if not, then we'll figure something else. We got like a giant list of topics that I don't think we bother to touch because we just keep coming up with different things to talk about.
Pretty much.
We got like this 25 item list of show ideas. We haven't even touched any of them yet. So I guess that's good. Alright, so everybody come back next week, please. We need it. We're starved for attention.
You're needy.
Yeah, I am. I'm sorry. I'm watching your cat lick himself behind you.
Yeah,
No,
he's
lick the others.
going to town.
Alright. So we'll be that next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.